Hi, this is Bill, and you're on Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill. Today, we're going to take you on board the revolutionary Royal Caribbean Star of the Seas, the second ship in the Icon class. The ship has just launched a few days ago. We were on the first revenue sailing of the ship, so we're going to take you around the ship. We're going to show you deck by deck what we liked, what we didn't like, what we thought could have been improved, and there are a couple of things that could have been improved. But in general, we had a great time, and we're going to give you a lot of information and a lot of tips along the way to help you decide if the Star of the Seas is the correct ship for you, or if you've already booked it, to give you some information on how to maximize your vacation time and your vacation dollars. So stick around, and we hope you enjoy this video. Well, we have a lot of information to give you and a lot of ship to show you, so we're going to try to keep this video as short as possible, and we're going to jump right into it here on Deck 5, which is the Royal Promenade. We are in the forward part now on Deck 5 near the Royal Theatre. The fitness center will show you in a little bit, but in the meantime, let me just talk to you about the ship a little bit. The Star of the Seas is about 251,000 gross tons. It's 1,200 feet in length, just a massive size. Think of that in football fields. That's 4 football fields long. At double capacity, it holds 5,610 guests, and it can hold actually up to 7,600 guests at full capacity, alongside a crew of about 2,350 members. So when the ship is fully full, you have about 10,000 people on the ship. Now, as we go through the video, I'm going to explain to you, the advantages and disadvantages of a ship that large. Just walk you through here. On the right is their, as we usually do, I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit, but show you. Here we have inside Sorrento's. Those are the Coke Freestyle machines. There were quite a few of those. You'll see those throughout the ship. If you have the drink package, it will give you a special mug with a QR code on the bottom of it, or RFID actually, and you can use that to get drinks. Here in Sorrento's is the late night pizza option, or pizza all day long. The pizza is excellent on Royal Caribbean. Even when we weren't hungry at night, one night they had barbecue chicken pizza. It was delicious. I was stuffed, had to get a slice. Across from Sorrento's is Spotlight Karaoke. As you can see, they have a lot of stuff up for the inaugural sailing. The flowers with the Royal Caribbean anchor logo there. But in here is the karaoke bar. They have this pretty much going throughout the cruise. There were a lot of kids there doing it. Pro tip, the bar in here tends not to get too crowded. They don't have a full stock of all the alcohol. This particular type of rum I like to drink, they didn't have it there. But especially if you're coming out of the Royal Theatre and you want to drink, a lot of the other bars tend to get pretty crowded. Spotlight Karaoke really didn't. It was a good spot to go there to get a drink and quick service. Now, the Royal Promenade is huge. It is much larger than it is, believe it or not, even on the Icon class ships. When you walk in, it's just almost overwhelmingly big. Hi, Angela. On the left here is a shop where they sell vintage pocketbooks. These are all resales. They have one particular pocketbook by Hermes. I guess that's how you pronounce it. It's like a $25,000 pocketbook that was used. I don't know. My daughter seemed to know about it. You can look that up, or let me know in the comments below about this that particular bag, which apparently is in high demand. There is a Starbucks, very good Starbucks here. Starbucks is not included in your cruise fare or the packages. It's an additional charge for any of the specialty coffees there. I also got my Star of the Seas mug. I've been kind of getting the mugs from the different ships we were going on, coffee mugs and the like. Across from Starbucks is the gift shop. They have a little area out here. The gift shop, especially being that it was such an early cruise, you can see that you can buy a little sailor. We have a we did meet Sailor. We'll have another video on just Sailor up on the channel a little bit later on. This shop tends to get pretty crowded, especially on a newer cruise line with all the new merchandise. People are buying a lot, so they had that overflow area in the back. We're just going to show you around here a little bit some of the stuff that's available. They have shirts. This store here is pretty much all of your local gear, magnets, Christmas ornaments, mugs, shirts, and the like. Now, explaining a little bit about the Royal Promenade. While I had one commenter on Facebook thought that the seemed like wasted space, I could certainly understand that because it is very, very wide. Looks like you'd land a plane in there. But they do utilize that space pretty much every night. They have the different parties, a decades party. On our cruise, they had a Caribbean party. They will do parades. They do a lot of entertainment in the Royal Promenade here, and it's really nice that it's not kind of jammed in like it is on some of the other classes of ships. So there's plenty of room for everybody, and even on deck 6, which you'll see in a little bit, you can overlook it. So it's a really, really nice uncrowded experience. Now here behind the Pearl is where you will get your photos. They do not have a traditional photo gallery where they print them out. You can go there and you can see your photos on an iPad, discuss about packages. We ordered a couple of photos. We were able to do it right off the app, and it was delivered to our room. So they really changed that experience on these newer ships as well. Rather than having a lot of printed out photos that you got to dig through, wasting space, they kind of have it behind there. But it is hidden, so if you're looking for it, that's where you're going to need to go. This is the elevator down to Casino Royale, and it's also the elevator you use to get on and off at ports of call. You'll see that in a few minutes. This is another bar or lounge, 1400 I believe it's called. That's what it said there. This is a really nice spot. A lot of people sit there. The seating was a little bit tough to get because that was really very, very popular spot where people could just sit there and watch the goings on. And then as you go past there, this is actually the area where you will get on and off the ship at Port Canaveral. But it actually is a really, really nice spot to sit and watch the ocean, watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. Nice tables there. And this is part of again, this is right outside, and this is part of the deck. If you could see that way, well, you can't see on the video, but there's a full walking track that goes around the ship as well. Walking back onto the ship, you can see the Pearl. This is the real wow factor on the ship, and the lighting of the ceilings. The Pearl is absolutely amazing. There's lighted steps. The panels that make up the inside have actually changed color, and they move slightly to create all kinds of different effects. Big Instagrammable spot. We got a picture there. Just be patient. Everybody wants to take the picture there, and everybody seems to think that they are a fashion model and can spend 20 minutes getting the perfect angle and the perfect shot there. So, quite honestly, it was a little bit frustrating. If you are taking a picture in front of that, please be mindful of your fellow passengers. Next up on the left, you have the English pub offering Thorn and Thistle. Very nice, typical English pub type of atmosphere. In the back, there is a dartboard. There's some seating out front that you can watch the comings and goings on, and inside the pub there was music playing nightly as well, usually a guitarist and a singer. Across here is guest services. As I tell you on every video, this is where you'll go if you have any issues with your account. Try not to go here on the last day of the cruise, especially late at night. Tends to get crowded. Monitor your folio, your onboard account daily on the app, and if there's any problems, go there beforehand. Next to get services here is the where you'll be able to purchase duty-free liquor and cigarettes, things like that. The value can range on that. What I'll tell you about duty-free shopping is pay attention to pricing, know your pricing. Sometimes there's bargains, sometimes there's not. Across here is the Crown and Anchor Society desk. If you have issues with your Crown and Anchor account or need to link anything, you'll go in there to the desk there. Also, it's the next cruise desk. When you're on board, you can book an additional cruise in the future. Sometimes there's either onboard credit or slight discount. The advantage to doing that is that you can also use your current travel agent. They will get credit and be able to help you with the future booking. So in general, I recommend my travel clients to, if they go on board and they get a price, shoot me a quick text message or an email, and I'll be able to let them know whether it's best to book on board, or in some cases you're better off not booking on board because the deposits are not refundable. Now, here we have the destination elevators. The Star of the Seas, as well as the Icon of the Seas, you press a button and it comes up with the elevator that you should go to. These elevator lobbies are nice and wide. They're big. There are 2 sets of elevators. Quite honestly, we were on the Utopia of the Seas last week. We had to wait for an elevator every time. On this ship, we were running for the elevators. Even on embarkation day and debarkation day, we never waited more than 15 and 20 seconds for an elevator and never stopped more than 1 or 2 floors. So they really got that right. Now, we walked you from forward to after. We're back forward again in the Royal Theater. Just wanted to show you the Deck 5 portion. This is kind of the balcony. Deck 4 is below that. It's kind of next to the music hall, which you'll see in a couple of minutes. The theater is very large. When we were on, there was a magician. He was very, very good. Seats were pretty comfortable, more comfortable than a lot of the Royal Caribbean ships. The sight lines were good. We generally pick either the top row or the back row. We like to have a spot where we could put our drinks down onto. But the entertainment I'll talk to you about a little bit later on in the video. Entertainment was amazing. Now we're back to the midship on Deck 5, and we're going down to Deck 4 into the casino area. Again, if you were to go to your right, you can get off the ship that way. Obviously, only if you're at port. You don't want to get off the ship while you're sailing. But here is the casino. The casino had a bar. We didn't spend a whole lot of time in here. I would say it's a mid-sized casino. We were on the Utopia last week, and Utopia's casino was absolutely huge. We don't usually do a whole lot of time in the casino. Some people do. I'd love to hear in the comments below, if you're a casino player, how you do with the casino offers and how much you gamble, because that seems to be kind of, you get a lot of conflicting information on that. But anyway, here is a music hall. This is a 2-floor venue. They'll have a lot of live music in here. They'll also host some of the game shows. They'll do some trivia in here. Trivia is very, very popular on cruise ships. So sometimes they'll actually have trivia. And I like the fact that they do the trivia in such a large venue, or some of the trivia is in such a large venue. Some of the ships, and sometimes they do them in venues that are just really, really too tight. But this is a really nice spot. Great place to sit, have a couple of drinks, watch some live music. Okay, we're going to go from Deck 4 back up to Deck 6. This is, I guess, kind of part of the Royal Promenade, but not really. This is overlooking the Royal Promenade. Again, you can just see it's a beautiful, beautiful ship. It's breathtaking. They did a fantastic job on this. On the right is the Schooner Bar. If you're a Royal Caribbean fan, you're familiar with the Schooner Bar. They have piano players playing pretty much every night. They also have a lot of great seating spots. They will do some trivias and some games in there as well. Plenty of space. No issue getting a spot or a seat or anywhere we went. Across from there is Bolero's. This is Latin themed venue. This is also on a lot of the ships. Great mojitos here, great rums, a lot of Caribbean type or Latin type of music being played there, live bands, and again, lots of seating spots. You can see the big flag. They were getting ready for the veteran ceremony. On every Royal Caribbean cruise, they'll do a tribute to veterans and usually first responders. On this cruise, it was veterans only. Anybody obviously is able to attend, but I wish fleet-wide that Royal Caribbean would give a little more standardized love to law enforcement and first responders. Now, off to the left here, behind the Pearl, is the Pearl Cafe area. And you're going to see the Pearl from the top looking down the stairs. This area is very popular. People working. We see more and more. I'll show you another spot later on the ship. A lot of people working, a lot of people on laptops. On this particular cruise, there were a lot of travel agents and vloggers on as well. Angela and I chose not to do much work on the cruise. We really want to experience the entire cruise rather than having our heads worried about creating the video. We figured we'd get it out in a few days, but this way we could really give you honest advice and real information rather than just taking pictures and going to our room. Here is the Pearl Cafe. Great spot to get some light breakfast stuff. They have breakfast sandwiches. They have regular sandwiches during the day, grab and go items. It's open late. You can see that they have muesli. They had donuts. You can get your coffee there. Just another great option rather than having to sit down someplace. This is probably a good time to talk to you about the crowds of the ship. There's another freestyle machine. They were all over. One of the big gripes about these mega ships is that with 10,000 people, it will be crowded. Having sailed for 9 days on the Icon of the Seas and 5 days on this, it was not crowded at all. As we go through the video, you'll see there are so many venues. There are so many places to eat. There are so many grab-and-go options, restaurants. There's the Aqua Theater. There's the main theater. There is an ice skating show. There is just so many places. They do an excellent job. And the scheduling team does an excellent job. Off to the left here, you'll see is a comedy comedy shop. They do a great job at splitting the crowds so that you don't have 5,000 people going to any one spot. So it was really between the Royal Promenade. You'll see the pool decks later on. I'll talk to you about that as we get up there. Angel's telling me, no, I'm not allowed to buy from the art auction. We got bit by the art auction bug a few years ago, and that's become a standard joke. Now, I'm going to contradict myself a little bit right away. Up on deck 6 here, we continue on at deck 6. This is the forward part, is dueling pianos. This would remind you of if you've ever been to Pat O'Brien's. They have dueling pianos there. They will play requests. Usually they'll take a little bit of a tip. This place got jammed at night. Let me tell you, when they were doing the dueling pianos, this was probably the most popular venue on the ship. Standing room only. If you want to see something there, get there a little early. But other than that, it really wasn't too bad. Going to jump back down to deck 5. I want to show you the jogging track and also the fitness center briefly. What I did not film or didn't point out on deck 6 is across from the Pearl and the Pearl Cafe is Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar. That it will have, that's especially restaurants not included, but it was excellent. Angela and I actually did the unlimited dining plan for this cruise just to try some variety. A little bit later on through the video, we'll talk whether I thought that was a good value or not. But we had, the first night we had Italian at Giovanni's, and it was really good in our opinion. We don't talk a lot about the food, and we don't, everybody's tastes a little bit differently, and we also don't like to film while we're eating. We feel it's very, very rude. May throw some pictures in at the end of the various dishes we had. Here is the fitness center. Not a huge fitness center. I've seen larger ones on other ships, but it seemed sufficient. They had elliptical machines and various weightlifting machines. They had bicycles. To find this, you're going to have to go onto deck 5, all the way forward. It would be basically what's in front of the Royal Theater and the jogging track. And right here, put in the comments below if you know what that little box was. Let me know what your thoughts are. Now we are on deck 7. This is all the way in the back of the ship, and this is one of the neighborhoods called Surfside. This is a space that will remind you of the boardwalk on the Oasis class ships. This is a great family area here. You come in, actually, my apologies, we're actually coming in on deck 8 right now, and then you walk down a set of steps to deck 7. This is deck 8. Deck 7 is actually where everything is located. On the right here is a shop where you can buy sundries, various things that you may need for a beach type of day, sunscreen, lanyards, sunglasses, and they also had some children's stuff there. This is a cute little slide that goes down for kids if you want to go down from deck 8 down to deck 7 to the Surfside neighborhood itself. That's a cute little thing for them to do. Let me take this moment to apologize for the pacing of this video if it's too fast. There's so much to see on this ship. I'm really trying to get this video as short as possible and pack it with as much information as I can. So it may seem like I'm rushing a little bit and not showing you everything, but quite honestly, this video could be 2 or 3 hours long if I was to show you every part and really describe everything. And here is the arcade. Great spot for the arcade on this level. Family-friendly area. The arcade is not included. It is an additional cost. Watch your kids' cruise cards that they don't go in there and bankrupt you. You can put limits on the cruise cards. Stop at guest services if you need to know about that. Cute little carousel here with different types of animals. That opened, I believe, at noon. There is... This was a little bit earlier in the morning. There was a candy store that wasn't open there. That's not included either. Here is a little jungle gym type of thing for littles that they can climb up in there. I told my daughter I can't wait for the day where our 1-year-old granddaughter climbs up there and mommy and daddy got to go get her. I know it's going to happen. Continuing on the right over here is another restaurant. This is not included, Pier 7. It's a little more casual. You can get it with the unlimited dining plan or pay as you go. The menu wasn't up. I don't know if it's open yet, quite honestly, for the cruise. Maybe it was. It may have just not been open for that morning. But in here is... California-inspired dishes, I would say. It's a little bit more of a casual atmosphere. Again, menus change. I'll see if I can link in the comments below the menu for PS7 so you have an idea. Now, if you've been on an Oasis class ship, you know this area is traditionally where the Aqua Theater is. The Aqua Theater, they moved on the Icon class. Back here is a kids' splash zone and play area. This is a real fun spot for littles. Again, great spot here. There's a lot of splash zone, a lot of little stuff to do there for the little ones that aren't potty trained yet. There is a larger pool there as well that, as most of you may know or may not know, if children are not potty trained by maritime law or federal law, they're not allowed in main pools. So kids have to be potty trained before they're allowed in almost all cruise ship pools that I know of. But they can go in these little splash zones. So great spot for your littles to go splash around, hang out, have some fun. Right next to it, there nice seating areas here too that you can keep an eye on them. Some tables. And right across there is another bar called the Lemon Drop. You'll see there's another one of those Coke Freestyle machines. Royal did a great job on the ship of putting those freestyle machines all over the place on some of the ships. You don't see as many. Here is the Lemon Drop, Lemon Spot, or the Lemon Post actually is called. I'm sorry. Very early trying to get this out here. This is a bar. You can get non-alcoholic or alcoholic drinks, lemon-based, kind of different menus. All of the bars had slightly different menus. One of the things that Royal Caribbean has also done in the last few weeks, which is very nice, is they've added a lot of non-alcoholic options and specialty drinks to the menus. For people that don't drink. Angela doesn't really drink much. She loves all the sweet, fruity drinks, but she doesn't like alcohol. So it's really great for her. Next to that is a location called Surfside Bites. You get popcorn chicken, hot dogs, hamburgers, pizzas, fries. They have some churros. Great spot for grab and go options. The kids are playing around. They get hungry. They want a little something. They don't want to go up to the buffet. You don't want to drag them, wet bathing suits all over the place. You grab a hot dog or some chicken nuggets there. Very good. Towel stations. One of the things that you have to do on Royal Caribbean is sign out towels. You have to give them your card. Make sure you turn them back in. Otherwise, they charge you if you don't return the towels. So keep an eye on those. Another nice spot. I keep saying great spots. This ship is really, really amazing. This is Surfside Eatery. This is included in your cruise fare. It's a, let's call it a Windjammer buffet light. It doesn't have quite the selection that the Windjammer does, but it also doesn't get crowded. We ate breakfast here one day. They have your basics. They're not doing the custom-made omelets here, but they do have eggs to go and ham and cheese omelets, things like that. There's bacon, sausage, your waffles. Nothing crazy. There's a muesli, fruit cups, cereal. If you want, all the options in the world, the Windjammer is going to have it. Here, if you don't want crowds, this is a real good spot to go. As you can see, now this was morning, plenty of seating in here and also seating outside. So they've really done a great job on the Icon class ships. I like the fact that they have incorporated so much family-friendly stuff into the one area. Between they have a bar there that you can get a couple of drinks, some fruity drinks if you want. There's splash areas for the kids. There's a little pool back there. There's the merry-go-round. And they'll also do family-friendly events there as well, where they'll make cotton candy and popcorn, and they do different games. This cruise we were on, we didn't see that, but I know that's one of the things that they do in these areas. Also, I should point out, located right next to the Surfside Zone is Adventure Ocean, which is the kids club, kids clubs on Royal Caribbean. I did not go in there. I do not like filming these areas, especially when there's kids in. My daughter Caitlin has a 1-year-old, and I'm probably going to see if she wants to do something for the channel on kids clubs and cruising with a 1-year-old and things like that. If you'd be interested in something like that, please let me know in the comments below. Now, located outside the Surfside area on Deck 6, this is, again, on Deck 6 all the way aft on the ship, is an area back here. It's going towards the Absolute Zero and Playmakers. Off on the left there was the Park West art auctions. And also here you'll see some more, shall we say, upscale logo gear. Various different things that are Star of the Seas related. Some sunglasses, some shirts that were kind of a little more trendy, or I don't know the term I use, but a little more stylish, shall we say. Here is Playmakers Bar and Grill. We had lunch here one day. It was included with the unlimited dining package. You can see here they have a lot of TVs. They did have regular American ESPN, Caribbean ESPN on the TVs. There's pool tables, various games. You get hamburgers. We had an onion ring tower, which was fantastic. They have various different. They had chicken wings. The chicken wings, just as an FYI, are breaded, and they were a little on the small side. Food here was okay. Again, we don't do a whole lot of food reviews, but I wouldn't spend a whole lot of extra money on the food in there. There's so much that's included and lots of other options on the ship. But again, a great spot to hang out. They had different games. Watch a game on TV. Have a drink or two. Nice spot there. Located behind Playmakers is the entrance to Absolute Zero, and then you'll walk down a flight of stairs. Absolute Zero is where they did the ice show. They'll also do laser tag, and they did some dance parties here as well, with some projections that go onto the floor and onto the people. I believe it's a white party they did back here. There was so much going on the ship, we obviously couldn't do everything. This would be a good spot to talk about the ice theater itself. One thing I'll note is those poles there, they do block some of the view, so you'll probably want to get there early and go down about half a section to see it. The ice show was probably one of the best shows that we have seen on a cruise ship ever. It was phenomenal. The effects were great. The skating was stuff I never thought I would see in my life. The music was fantastic. It was a real nice mix between American standards, some Latin music, some country music. The theme was fantastic. The acrobatics were amazing. These artists were fantastic. I'll talk to you a little bit more about some of the other shows as we go through the venues themselves. Now, reservations are required at the main theater, the Aqua Theater, and the ice skating rink. You can make those in advance, about a month and a half ahead of time, or you can try to get reservations as soon as you get on the ship, or you can just show up at the venue half an hour, 45 minutes before the show, and usually you'll be able to get in. And through the magic of YouTube, we're taking you up to Deck 8. Here you can see the Lincoln Park Supper Club. This is similar to the Empire Supper Club that's on the icon. It is a dinner and a show type of thing. It's based on Chicago. This is not included in the unlimited dining plan. I believe it's available as an upcharge. It's expensive, but very popular and very hard to get a reservation for. Walking on Deck 8 from the aft part to the forward part, this is one of our favorite spots on these ships, is the Central Park area. There you can see Chops Grill. That is their specialty restaurant, steakhouse. We ate there one night. Steaks were excellent. Service was excellent. No complaints whatsoever. On the left is the Trellis Bar. I think you'll see a little bit more in the video of our favorite bartenders. Angela and I, whenever we get on a ship, we tend to find this one spot that we like. It's never the same on any two ships. I call it the incident command post for people that are in law enforcement. They'll get the reference. But that one bar that we just kind of always seem to go to because the service is so friendly. The girls that were bartending here were just phenomenal, just so nice. By day one, they knew what I was drinking. Every time I walked past, they would like call me over for a drink, which we usually did. We sat down and exchanged some pleasantries, and they gave us a lot of information on the things to have on the ship. We ate in the Japanese restaurant one day, teppanyaki, and she recommended a certain thing to Angela that Angela absolutely loved. Also in Central Park here is the Park Cafe. Again, another included option where they had breakfast here. They had breakfast sandwiches. Honestly, the breakfast sandwich was not very good that I had that day. It was a little undercooked. But the ship is brand new, so they're probably still calibrating machines and stuff. I went in there, let them know that it was undercooked. They couldn't have apologized more. The manager came over. Obviously, they were going to look into it. They were taking measurements and things like that. But here is where you're going to also get the Royal Promenade. Fantastic, like a roast beef sandwich, basically. One of our favorite spots. But again, here is another place you can go for breakfast or for a meal without having to be crowded into the buffet area. Now, the Central Park area, every one of these trees and plants you see is real. They have full-time botanists on staff that take care of these plants. Every morning when we went up, we saw they were there, and they really take great care of these plants. Over here is Lou's Jazz and Blues Club. They have live music, again, just about every night. Jazz bands and blues bands, as you would expect. Really nice spot. Angela and I, on cruises that have this, like this and the Icon, a lot of times you sit out there. I'm not a huge jazz fan or blues fan, but just really relaxing. This whole Central Park area, if you're looking to get away from things, great spot, beautiful at night, nice, it's open air. They have some fake bird music they chirp in, they pipe in, which was nice. You would never think you were on a cruise ship. You're in this area, you really would think that you're in Central Park without the danger factor of being in Central Park, and I will leave that at that. Here are some of the more higher-end shops. You can get watches, jewelry, things like that up here. Just a quick tip. that somebody made me aware of. If you make a large purchase, particularly if it's more than $10,000, don't be surprised if you are escorted off the ship at the end of your cruise to customs to pay the duty on that. The duty is really not all that expensive, but just don't be shocked if that happens. Over here is Bubbles. This is a champagne bar that is on the Star of the Seas. The morning they were having mimosas there too. I was kind of surprised it was open in the morning, but then I started thinking about, oh yeah, mimosa in the morning. But you can get your higher end champagnes there if you want. I don't believe the bottles are included in the drink package. As a matter of fact, I know they're not included, but you could probably get a discount on those as well. As we continue on, just let me stop real quick and ask you, if you're getting value out of this video, hit that like button. Please add a comment below if you've been on this cruise ship, and certainly consider subscribing and sharing the video with your friends. Any interaction we have really helps us. Any feedback we get in the comments helps me do better videos to help you. And again, the more likes we get, the more they show it to other people. So if you're enjoying the video, let us know below. Off here you can see there's a entrance to the Royal Promenade. One change between this and the Oasis class ships, there is no longer a rising tide bar on this or the Icon of the Seas, which I think is kind of okay. It was a little gimmicky, honestly. Here is Izumi in the park. There's different sushis. This is not included in your cruise fare. There's a small upcharge for it, as you can see there. They have bubble cones. They have mochi and matcha, my daughter's favorite. I tried the mochi at the teppanyaki we ate there one night. It was okay. Not a huge fan. I don't like green tea ice cream. The chocolate ice cream is pretty good. You can see in the window there, they're making up the sushi. Now, there is a restaurant inside this, not just this takeout window, but there is Izumi in the park. That has both, it's a sushi sit-down restaurant. They also do teppanyaki. We ate teppanyaki there one day, and it was fantastic. A real fun experience. Food was fantastic. Very, very good. Also, this, again, is a specialty restaurant. It's not included with the standard cruise fare. The teppanyaki part was actually also a small upcharge on the unlimited dining plan. It was definitely well worth it, though, and make reservations early if you wanted to go there. Now we are up on deck 14. As you can see, that's an elevator lot. The elevator lobbies are huge, never crowded, even getting on and off the ship. It was such a pleasant experience. Here is a Vitality at Sea Spa. Over here you can see there's a Vitality Cafe. You'll be able to get various juice drinks, pressed juice drinks, healthier snacks, healthier options, fruit smoothies, things like that there. There's a little seating area here where you could get that, sit down if you wanted to. Also, this is where you will come to check in for your spa treatments. They have a thermal suite here too. There is a barber. There is a hair salon. They do makeup. Any type of, you can get massages here as well. Between this is a 2-floor. There's the thermal suite in here as well. Popped into it real briefly to show you a little bit of that. But again, don't want to invade people's privacy. But here there's Kerastase, different hair treatments. They're not inexpensive to do these things, but if you'd like to treat yourself, Angela every once in a while on a cruise will like to treat herself to get her hair done or nails or something like that. It's a little more than you may pay at home, but sometimes it's nice to pamper yourself on a cruise and just enjoy the whole experience. Now, from there, you're going to walk down to deck 12, a set of stairs. There is no deck 13 on the ship, so downstairs to deck 12 is where you'll have the actual treatment rooms for massages. There's a relaxation lounge that you can go to before or after you massage, as you'll see in a couple of seconds. The entrance was not open there, so you had to use that spiral staircase inside to go up or down to deck 12. Here we are now up on deck 15. This is all the way in the forward part of the ship, and here is the AquaDome, which is going to house the Aqua Theater and several other venues here. Again, the change between the Oasis class and the Icon class is they moved the Aqua Theater all the way forward on the ship. As you walk into the right here, you'll see an interesting shop where they sell really, really high-end Royal Caribbean logo gear. And I'm not talking expensive t-shirts. I'm talking very expensive jewelry. Right there is a gold chalice. Now, that chalice, it costs $100,000. They do sell some of these. It comes with a lifetime deluxe beverage package, and probably should come with a new liver as well to go along with that. But believe it or not, they've sold it. But that store, they have that type of stuff. Right next to it is another new venue, the AquaDome Market. This is really, really neat. Something that I think really has been needed on Royal Caribbean ships for a while. There are basically, it's like a food truck type of options. We'll walk you through here and you'll see plenty of seating. Again, another option over the buffet. Also, it's an option late night because it's open till midnight. Here's one of them. This has Cuban sandwiches right here, different Mexican type of food, arepas. Very, very good. This is open till midnight. So if you are going to bed before midnight and are tired of the late night pizza, this would be a great spot. They have some pulled pork here. This is the barbecue station. Pulled pork brisket was pretty good. They have there's a Greek section as well, or Mediterranean food, and then there's a place where they do Asian type of thing, Asian stir fry or different bowls there. Angela really enjoyed that. The barbecue was good, not great, but it's, we're not in Lexington, North Carolina, so this is only something you can expect. Here is a creperie. Now, this was really popular. There was always a line for this. Angela loves her crepes. They make them fresh right there in front of you. She had one. Again, this is going to be a line to get to that, but they go pretty quickly. We're now back outside the AquaDome Market. We're walking around counterclockwise from the Aqua Theater. Now, we saw an Aqua Theater show here that was just absolutely fantastic. It was amazing. The music was great. Everything on these shows is very, very high energy. The acrobatics were great. The diving was great. The choreography was excellent. Royal Caribbean just seems to keep outdoing themselves on these cruise ships. I really don't know how they do it. It just seems to improve every time. Now, kind of tucked in behind there is on the right here is the Ryan and Bean Market. I guess there's a bar. It's also specialty coffees here. You can see you can get various specialty coffees back there, espresso and cafe mocha. Not as much as Starbucks has, but a nice selection. Great spot to get your coffee. And there's also a regular bar there too. Now, this area is really, really nice here. This replaces kind of the solarium that you might be used to on the Oasis class ships. This area is called the Overlook. Believe it or not, we were in the Icon of the Seas. We didn't discover this till last night. Real nice spot. In both of these areas, this whole AquaDome area, again, so a lot of people working. A lot of people that, I guess, cruise and then have regular jobs, or maybe they do, travel agent stuff or whatever, but there were a lot of people with laptops. I mean, how is this for an office? I mean, seriously enough. Angela and I do work on cruises occasionally. I obviously will address emergencies or take care of clients that I need to. But we try not to do a whole lot of, social media editing or anything like that. Like I said before, just enjoy it. Nice bar there. There is no pool back here, though. That's the only thing I will tell you. Unlike on the Oasis class ships, this is dry back here. There's no pool. It's just a really nice sitting area. Continuing on in the AquaDome area is Hooked Seafood. This is another specialty restaurant. It's an upcharge for this for both lunch and dinner. Angela and I ate dinner here once. The food was good. I had filet and lobster tail. The food was very good. What I will tell you though is because of the glass on the wall there, if you are sailing in a way that the sun is setting there, you don't want to sit by those windows. It was outrageously hot. The sun was just beating down on us. We were at dinner. We were actually sweating. So if you're having dinner, you may want to ask for a table away from the window if the sun is setting. Now, continuing aft on deck 15, we are going to walk past the pool deck. We finally got you up to the pool deck 45 minutes into the video. Again, I'm going to try to move it along as quickly as I can. Lots of seating, bar top seating. Here, there's pools. One thing I'll notice on the right there, there's those little cubby holes. Great spot where if you want to put your shoes or shirts and stuff like that, you don't have to take up an entire lounger. If you're not going to be sitting in it, you just want to spend time in the hot tubs. That's a really nice option. We saw those throughout the ship. Kudos to Royal Caribbean for adding that. I think it does a great job at freeing up space. Here is one of the lime and coconut bars. The service here was fantastic. The bartender was very, very good. This is Angela got her favorite lime and coconut, and they have coconut lime refreshers. The lime and the coconut comes in that cute little bucket thing there. But very good drinks. Service was good. Again, didn't really wait long for any drinks at all. They do have waiter service that goes around to the pool areas and to the seating areas. Angela, right to the left there is where Angela and I watched Sail Away. We pulled up a couple of chairs. It was fantastic. The Sail Away out of Port Canaveral, they had a big party. It was exciting. We had a fireboat, escort, and everything. I'll probably throw a short up on that or maybe another video at some point. And along those lines, we did have an infinite ocean view balcony. We will have a video explaining all of that up within the next day or two. This would be what I call the main pool here. That pool was very nice. It was about 4.5 feet deep. Great. As we show you the other pools, I'm going to tell you some of the things I didn't like about this ship. That pool was great. It was a little on the warm side. It was like 89 degrees. In the Florida sun, it gets pretty hot. But it was a nice big pool, plenty of room, a good depth that it wasn't... I hate really, really deep cruise ship pools where you feel like you're drowning. I like a place where it's maybe 4 feet deep that you can just sit back, relax, have a drink, still stay cool. That pool is called the Royal Bay Pool. There's also, I should note, there were Royal pools throughout the ship as well. Quite a few of those. It was really, really hot. This is in August. So while those might be great when the weather cools off a little bit, we want no part of a hot tub. We're going to kind of do a little U-turn here. You might notice that I am not showing the Windjammer Marketplace, and that is because we only ate there on embarkation day. And if you've seen one Windjammer Marketplace, you've seen them all. One thing I will note is that they did do lobster and crab on the embarkation day lunch. We did enjoy that. If you want to see what that's like, check out our Icon of the Seas video. I have that in there. But again, I really want to kind of shorten this video up. I'm trying to get it to be under an hour for you. Here is the Cantina Bar and El Loco Fresh. This is included. One of our favorites. They have quesadillas, burritos, tacos, nachos. There's a bar with all types of hot sauces and different additions that you could add on to your nachos or whatever you wanted. This is one of our favorite spots to stop on any cruise ship that has a El Loco Fresh. Now, we're walking back forward on the port side of the ship, going from El Loco Fresh and the Windjammer moving forward. Off to the left is the Cove Pool. The Cove Pool is... it looks like it's a hot tub, but it's not. It's actually normal water temperature. Not very deep. A foot or so deep. You probably, a lot of seating around the edges, so it's more of a hot tub feel with a non-hot tub temperature. As you can see there, there's it's probably, like I said, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep. Seating areas, though, nice spot. Not huge. Quite honestly, one of the things that I think they could have done a little bit better is had a little bit more pool for a ship this size. Like I said, that Royal Bay Pool was our favorite. And even though they have many pools on the ship, I think the ones that they do have could have probably been a little bit bigger. Continue to walk forward. Past the on the right there's a lime in the coconut. There's a little steel drum you can play with there if you like, electronic steel drum. This is a mirror to the lime and coconut on the other side. Honestly, I wish I would have got a little creative and come up with a different name for a different bar, because they are very separate bars. The smoking area is also back this way. Now, as we continue walking, to compare this to the Icon of the Seas, if you've been on the Icon of the Seas, you're going to have deja vu. It is very, very, very similar to the sister ship, the Icon of the Seas. Some of the decorations are different, but most of the venues are pretty similar. We love the Icon of the Seas, so we have absolutely no issue with that. We think they really knocked it out of the park with the design and the ability to have a lot of people on ship without it feeling overly crowded. On the right here is there's some table tennis there. I like the fact that the way they have this, it doesn't get very windy. I never understood ping pong with a little ping pong ball with 40-mile-an-hour winds blowing. And this is really neat here. You are, if you look over here, they have, on the Icon of the Seas, they were divers there. Here they have surfers. No, that's not my son-in-law, Michael. Up on deck 16 is Coastal Kitchen, which is a suite lounge. There is a whole suite area, which we did not film. Maybe at some point, hopefully in the future, I'll get some access to the suite areas, and we could do a separate video just on that. But on this cruise, we didn't. Here is, we're walking out onto an area called Chill Island. Now, it's kind of interesting because deck 16 and deck 17 are kind of split. So you really only have the port side. We're walking aft on deck 16. And then we'll walk you around and you'll see where deck 17 is. This is Swim and Tonic. This is a swim-up bar that was just recently made adult only. This on the Icon of the Seas and on the Star of the Seas up until a couple of days ago was a family-friendly pool. Personally, I think this was a great decision by Royal Caribbean. This pool certainly, it's too small. Yeah, the swim-up bar, I think there's better spots for kids on the ship. I think it was best to leave that one as a adult-only pool. Again, the nice thing about that pool is there is some seating, in-water seating, and some tables, so you can get a drink and sit down and have a drink. But certainly it wasn't swimmable. Again, the pool depth is only maybe a foot and a half, 2 feet deep. Not deep enough to really just kind of lounge around much. We like a pool that's a little bit deeper. Some people like that. If you like to just sit there in the water and most of your body is out of the water, have a drink, that pool is a great one. Here we're getting, this is the music stand. They had, for the sail away party, and every day they had a band playing Caribbean music there. They were fantastic. The other thing I'll tell you, plenty of seating up here, as you can see. There's cabanas. Those cabanas are additional charge, but plenty of loungers and things like that. No issue whatsoever. The music was great. The vibe was great. They really did a really nice job of just giving you that tropical feeling with the entertainment on the pool deck. We're now leaving Chill Island and going to an area called Thrill Island, and you'll see there is the Crown's Edge. It's part skywalk, part ropes course, and part thrill ride. It spends you 150 feet above the ocean. Definitely not for the faint of heart. You walk around on these little rope area, walk from panel to panel, and then the platform drops out and you kind of do a very short zip line over. Not for me. If you've done it, let me know. A lot of people love it. I'm not that good with heights unless I was putting out a burning building or something like that. Next to that, you'll have the rock climbing wall here. This is pretty much a standard. Above the rock climbing wall, you see there is a sports court that you can have it's basketball hoops. There is pickleball's become a really, really big thing. There's also soccer, some different things. On this particular cruise, they didn't have a whole lot of sports going on. This is a sport I could play. Little table soccer there. Kind of an interesting thing. Again, here next to the rock climbing wall is an area called Base Camp. Here is where they have some more food options. This is included now. Pretzels, tater tots, hot dogs, chicken fingers, and the like. Light bites. Very good french fries here. This on the icon originally was an additional cost for some items, and now everything here is included, which I think is really, really great. Again, another food option. So while there's a lot of options that you have to pay for, a lot's included as well. Located right next to Base Camp is something that's not included. This is Deserted, which is a milkshake bar. If you've been to some of the biggest cities, you know, they'll have places with specialty milkshakes. This is one of them. Again, not included. It's an additional cost for things in here, but they have a huge variety of different milkshakes where you can get different add-ons. You can also get liquor additions as well. We did not try this. We're gonna have to on one of these cruises. Again, we were stuffed. Honestly, we walked off the ship, and it's gonna be days before I can recover and feel myself again. Very nice view of the Surfside area there. I'll give you a little idea of the water slides. We are continuing to walk aft from Base Camp. You see there's the seating for Base Camp and also for the bar that is located back here, appropriately named the Base Camp Bar. Now, past the Base Camp Bar is the Lost Dunes miniature golf course. Really, really nice miniature golf course. Another one of those things we haven't done on a cruise. Been on almost 50 cruises. Have never played miniature golf on a cruise ship. Gonna have to do that one of these days. This course looked really nice. Up there you can see there is a wide variety of water slides. That was one of the big things on that Royal Caribbean has done on the Icon class, is a huge amount of water slides for all ages and thrill levels. Now, heading past the miniature golf area and going towards the back of the ship is the Hideaway area. The Hideaway is 18 and above only. There was originally with the Icon, this was a family area. They decided to turn into a 18 and above area. There's a whirlpool back here. There's plenty of seating. There is a pool back here as well. Personally, I think they do a good job of a mix between the adult-only areas and the family-friendly areas. I like the mix that they have. I think this area back here definitely lends itself to being more of an adult-only area than family-friendly. Here is the pool. You walk down these steps. Again, you see those cubby holes for the slippers and stuff, which is nice. Now, this is technically deck 15, and this is the Hideaway pool. As you can see, it's not very deep either. Decent pool. Not very deep, not very wide. There are those pool lounges that you can rent, or that's an additional cost. But there are lounges all around. Again, we spent a little bit of time here on the Icon of the Seas. On this particular cruise, we spent more time at the other pools than this one. Beautiful views back here, though. If you want to watch sail away from a port, you really don't get much better views than sitting in that pool and just kind of looking out over the glass. Safety tip, do not sit on that glass. Somebody, a dumbass, sat on the glass, fell backwards. Thankfully, he got caught by the area for the spill-off, or the runoff, so he didn't plunge into the kids area. But use some common sense, people. Don't sit where you're not supposed to sit. As you can see, there was also a bar area located back there, and then right above that area is the Flow Rider surf simulator as well. We're going to walk you back on deck 16 and show you deck 17 as well. This area is the exit for the slides and the entrance to some other slides you'll see in a couple of minutes. Gonna wrap the video up in a little while and give you our final thoughts on the ship. But again, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button and definitely consider subscribing. We have over 200 videos on the channel of cruise ships, all-inclusive destinations, various ports, Alaska, Europe, pretty much every Caribbean port, many cruise ship reviews. We try to keep it honest. We don't do the clickbait thing, and your support and your feedback has really kept this channel going. But don't run away yet, because we still have a little more ship to show you, including a pool that we didn't discover until kind of late in the cruise, which you may find that you like, because it's kind of in a spot that a lot of people don't notice. Now, as we walk past here, as you know, Angela and I have never been on a cruise we didn't like. Every cruise is different. We don't have a favorite cruise ship. We don't have a favorite cruise line. There's some that we prefer at different points in time. But what I'll tell you is this: the Royal Caribbean, Star of the Seas, and the Icon of the Seas, while it's not inexpensive, was fantastic. If you have a family, if you have younger kids, multi-generational, honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with this ship. I've booked this a lot for clients. I've yet to have somebody come back and say that they hated it. Is it for everybody? No. If you're looking for a very quiet experience, a relaxing, classic cruising experience, if you're not into water slides, maybe you're a little bit older, this may not be the ship for you. There is plenty to do for everybody. There's different areas. Central Park is a nice area. The Royal Promenade is a nice area. But again, it may be too much ship. It's pretty big. If you're all the way at the front of the ship and you want to make it to dinner, you need to leave yourself a little bit of time. The elevators are great, but it's a big ship, and expect to do a decent amount of walking on it. Now, we are up here on deck 17 on the starboard side. There is no deck 17 on the port side, in an area appropriately named Cloud 17. Cloud 17, this is probably the highest deck with loungers on it. Really nice view there. That's our favorite pool right below us there. But it really gives you a nice idea of the scale of the ship. The plenty of areas that they split the crowds up. Again, the lounges were not overly taken up. I think a lot of people were working, but even at full capacity, and we were on the Icon of the Seas pretty much at full capacity, it never felt overwhelming to us. To repeat, book your shows early. There are shows in the Royal Theatre, the Aqua Theatre, Absolute Zero. There's comedy shows in the attic. Those you're going to want to book as early as possible. There's also the music hall. You don't book those, but the attic of the comedy shows, that's going to be very hard to get or show up early. So book your shows in advance if you can. Here up on deck 17 is another Lime in the Coconut Bar. Once again, come up with a different name, please. And here is the Cloud 17 pool that a lot of people don't discover. It's a nice depth. I like the depth. Could be a little wider, and again, I understand. I'm not trashing Royal Caribbean at all. I understand that with design, they're trying to split people up. And then also, with a ship this big, you can only have so much water being supported by everything else. But that's another option for a pool there. And that's about it. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time going over the food. We did not go to the main dining room. We had a specialty dining package. The dining is generally very good on Royal Caribbean. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, again, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and until next time, we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.